That's insane! Have we just found the world's first? For today's journey, you need to consider two simple concepts. Pay close attention because the journey to get here has been absolutely bonkers.
Bonkers? Did you just say bonkers?
Yep, I did indeed. My name is Paul.
And I'm Rebecca.
Let's hit the rewind button.
Hold on. Thank you to the good people at Why Food for sponsoring this video today.
Okay, let's hit that rewind button again. Okay, so this is genuinely bonkers. So before we delve into this, you need to have a look at two concepts. Number one, our trusty Roman road. Quite easy to identify. Basically, you're looking for what's called an agger, a embanked bit middle of the road that was embanked like this, helped with drainage. Then you're looking for two drainage ditches on either side, could be a varying distance apart. Savanac Forest is a good example where you can still see a great example of an agger 2,000 years on, classic Roman road. And that's exactly what we found right now. We're now stood on a Roman road. Difficult to see on camera, but we'll try our best. So the goal for today is to walk from here along the Roman road back towards Salisbury for a few miles. Shouldn't be too tricky. Here's one of the maps we're going to use. Concept number two is Grim's Ditch or Grim's Dyke. Not quite as straightforward as a Roman road, so let's grab a map and I'll show you exactly what we mean. Salisbury and Stonehenge, relevant to today. So let's open this up. Now, if you look on this map here, you can see a wiggly earthwork. Wiggles quite a lot, and that's exactly what Grim's Ditch was. It was a linear earthwork. Let's say a bit more complicated than a Roman road because no one knows what it was for. What we do know is around about 500 years prior to the Roman invasion, so 500 BC, Iron Age, that sort of time. It's massive, and I don't mean massive in its size, I mean massive in its length, and it covered various parts of the countryside from Oxfordshire, Hampshire, Wiltshire, Dorset. No one really knows exactly why. It was assumed it's not military because it's not big enough, maybe an enclosure, maybe a boundary, maybe a routeway. The jury is still open. Now, whilst it doesn't look like it on the map, it suggests that the Roman road isn't there. It suggests the Roman road's about 100 yards further south, so maybe we've got that wrong. Let's stick to what the old map says. 100 yards or so this way.
Okay, and while we're going this way, why don't you have your breakfast?
Well, this is a good time to talk about this week's sponsor, which makes these videos possible. So this is Why Food, and we've just started using Why Food as a product. It's actually a smart food. So this week's sponsor has caused us a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, we've got too many kids, and just as we like them, the kids love them too, which isn't a bad thing because they are nutritionally complete. So a meal in itself, which is brilliant.
Yeah, so it's quite a good thing that the kids love it too, because actually we feel like we're doing them some good. So I'm going to crack open my, what flavour are they?
Cold brew coffee you have today.
That's perfect.
And I have crazy coconut today.
So there's a whole bunch of flavours, and there's also a vegan range too, which we should mention.
Yes, we do have the vegan range as well, and that's gone down well as well. They don't really taste any different either, because we wondered whether vegan would taste different to the normal ones, but they don't.
And none of them have got any added sugar, which is also good for me, because if you've been watching this channel for a long time, you know that I'm not great with added sugar of any description. Right, that's cool. It's really tasty, isn't it? I've not had the coffee one before. It's really tasty. So this is 500 ml, Rebecca. It's got all those vitamins. Look at that. That's mad. 500 ml. I'm a big dude. Is there any options for people that are maybe a bit smaller than me, haven't got a big as appetite as me?
Yep, they do a 330 ml one as well. They also, for the lighter option, do powders which you can mix yourself and bars.
This is food, and that's really important to remember. It's not a diet, it's not a protein shake, it's not kind of gimmicky. It's a meal in itself.
It is, and if you want to sign up to the discount that we've got today, link in the doobly-doo below, banner across the bottom of the screen, go there and see a great offer.
Right, onto the Roman road. It should be there, but actually it marks down here.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Right, so this isn't the most pronounced bit of Roman road I've seen. According to the old map we've got, Rebecca, this is a bit of the Roman road. Marked it in tandem with the OS map, and it looks like, as I say, not the most pronounced bit of Roman road, but let's follow this towards Salisbury. Now, as we headed east, or east-south-east, we noticed two things. Number one, this was zigzagging like nothing we've ever seen. No pathway, anything, let alone a Roman road, and Roman roads don't do that. I mean, they do zigzag on occasion, but that's to get down a very sharp and steep hill. Maybe that's once over the course of 20 or 30 miles. And secondly, well, this doesn't look like a Roman road. There's no agger in the middle for drainage. In fact, it's almost the opposite of a Roman road. There's a bank with a ditch that we're walking in. Well, that doesn't sound like a Roman road. That sounds more like Grimm's Ditch. We really are on the correct route according to that old OS map, and we printed off quite a few of those old OS maps, anything between 1880, 1910, very detailed, and they all say Roman road. So my head is all over the place. Why are we seeing this route marked as Roman road? We've already seen a Roman road today, which looks like it's running almost parallel to the earthwork that we're walking along, the fake Roman road. This, however, it doesn't look like a Roman road, it's not acting like a Roman road, and it doesn't smell like a Roman road. Nope, definitely doesn't smell like a Roman road. Early maps, well, they weren't a great deal of use to you or I, the traveller. They were perhaps more politically motivated and of no real use. They were sponsored by a local wealthy landowner who wanted his estate painted from above. God, who would take on a sponsor? But then, of course, came the Board of Ordnance, turned into the Ordnance Survey, and by 1810 onwards they realised that there was a value of maps outside of war and the military, and all of a sudden, it took them sort of 40 or 50 years, they started producing maps of greater detail. Actually, all of a sudden we had a set of maps from 1870 onwards, the entire country, that were of great use. All the maps now from this new era are absolutely detailed as you can imagine. Milestones, ditches, pits, pubs, lanes, springs, even the mundane embankments, ponds, barns. They were absolutely insane. Nothing had been considered like this before on such a detailed level. The 50 years, it turns out, was well worth its weight. So are you now thinking maybe what I'm thinking? These map makers had had 50 years experience mapping all of these features. They were probably unknowingly the world's finest experts on Roman roads and what they look like and how to identify them. So why are they getting this 2-mile stretch along the bottom of these woods and into these woods? Why are they getting that so wrong? This just must be a mistake. This bit here is actually an S-bend. Have a look on the map. It literally goes back on itself. It's a ditch. It's beyond comprehension that a map maker with that skill and experience would think that this is a Roman road.
So either this was a mistake, which is unlikely, or maybe a local guide or something said it was there. So maybe they led them up the garden path a little bit and said, oh, that road next to the line of trees, that's a Roman road.
It's really curious, isn't it? And there are examples of things being lost in translation or taken for granted from landowners. But I just can't see it here. I'm really struggling with this. It's quite a remote landscape up there. We're sort of 2 or 3 miles from the nearest civilization. Do we need to take that into consideration? Do we need to think that maybe the map makers got a bit lazy and just took people's word for it, and actually they didn't visit this area at all? Well, they did. They did visit this area, and we know that. And this is where things really get interesting, because we're about to flip everything on its head. They did visit this area. So we're now back on that route, and we're at the top of the S-bend, back on the fake Roman road, which is clearly Grimm's Ditch. And if we head further 2 miles along this route, well, things change on the old maps, because all of a sudden they start referring to this very route that they had referred to as a Roman road as a ditch. Ditch? Wait, so the map makers did know that this was a ditch, not a Roman road. And what's more, this map also has a Roman road on it. It's clearly marked. They knew what a Roman road looked like, as we suspected. So what's going on here? Because as we head back on the same map to the west, well, that ditch they've marked as a ditch is marked as a Roman road. They clearly knew it wasn't. What exactly is going on here?
Right, I have a theory. Columbo.
Columbo? What, as in?
Oh, listen, there's one other thing I wanted to ask you about.
Yep, that Columbo.
What?
Right, quite a while ago, there was this chap who used to do books on obscure facts, and he was a little bit paranoid, a little bit worried that he was being copied. So he decided he'd make up a few facts, and then hopefully would not be copied, or at least find out who was.
Right, so what's that got to do with Columbo?
Well, one of these facts was about Columbo. He wrote that the fact of Columbo's real name was Philip Columbo.
Ah.
And lo and behold, that fact did appear in the next edition of Trivial Pursuit.
Right, so presumably he could sue them. I get where this is going now.
Yes, but apparently you can't copyright a fact, so he couldn't and it failed. But that's not the same with maps.
Of course. And wait, have we found the world's first trap street, the world's first Easter egg, the world's first attempt to stop people from stealing their intellectual property, the world's first copyright trap in a map from 1885 or thereabouts?
Now apparently this is the case in a lot of modern day maps, especially A to Z's, like Lie Street in Bristol, which even sounds like one, doesn't it?
Yep.
Now OS said in 2005 that they did do this, they admitted to it, and if anybody found them they would just delete them. But now obviously they deny the existence of them completely, which is fair enough.
So those are the trap streets. Now, in my mind, what we've just found is unequivocally a trap street. There's no way the map makers of the time would have said, yeah, this is a Roman road, for countless different reasons. So I really do feel like we found the first trap street or trap road, or first attempt at stopping people from nicking their stuff, as Sir Arthur Conan Doyle once wrote. Once you eliminate the improbable, whatever remains, however implausible that is, must be the truth.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked it, boop the like button.
Indeed, and of course a big thanks to Y Food for sponsoring today's video. If you want to take advantage of the offer they've got for you today, what do, Rebecca?
In a doobly-doo, click the link.
Hey. Thanks Y Food. See you next time, folks.